Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you have a Gio Golf mobility scooter or Gio Golf Premium and suddenly your wiper blade stopped working, it could be a few things that needs to be checked, because it can be as simple as a loose wire on the switch itself, maybe on a motor. Motor comes with two sets of wires. Let me show you. This is actual motor, and you have two plugs. So if one of the plugs got disconnected, or if one of the wires got pulled out from the connector, the motor is not going to work. It's really easy to replace it. So let me show you what needs to be done in order for getting checked. Now I'm going to put my camera on this tripod and get light as close as possible. Next, I'm going to lift up this cap right here, and there is a nut, 10mm wrench. That's what you want to get to remove that nut. Okay. After you remove that nut, my advice would be to get yourself a white color marker. I don't have a white color marker, this is silver one, so I have to go what I have. Mark yourself, if you can, the position of the arm against that shaft. So you want to mark on the shaft and on the arm. So it will be easy for you to install it back without removing multiple times and changing the position by 1 or 2 notches to the left or to the right. But even if you miss it, no big deal. Now I'm going to, with both hands, going to lift it up. Now there is a spring, so be ready for that. After I remove that arm, there is a rubber cap. And the next step is removing this big nut. Okay. And next step, I'm getting flat screwdriver. I wrapped it with the painter's tape so I don't mark anything, and I'm going to pry out this entire cover. On the back you will see 5 locking tabs and rubber grommets. So that's how it's connected. Alright. Next step is checking if both of the plugs are plugged in. Remember that I've been showing on that motor that you have 2 plugs. One of them is pretty accessible and you can see right away if it's plugged in or not. And this is your power supply, by the way. So this red and the black wire is going to the motor, and it's supplied with the 12 volts by green, and the black with a yellow stripe wire. Green is negative, and you can see it's across from black, green across from black, and the black with a yellow stripe is positive. It is across from red. Now, if you want to check if voltage is supplied to this connector, you have to have a multimeter and put on the DC settings, and without even disconnecting, I'm going to attach my probe to a black and another one to a red wire and look at the display, and mine is showing 13.5 volts. So I have a good steady supply going into this plug. You will ask, why is it 13.5 volts? Well, because the entire scooter is working from 65 volts, but there is a voltage converter that converting from high voltage to low voltage, because this is a generic 12 volt motor. All right, now next, it's going to be maybe a little bit more tricky, because you have a second wire coming from the motor, and that second wire is actually a little bit inside. So I hope that you can see on the camera that I'm wiggling that plug right here. Okay, I hope you can see it, guys. So you must find that second plug and verify if it's plugged in, if all of 3 plugs on one side of the plug is intact, and if 3 plugs on the other side is intact. I'm able to disconnect this wire that go into the motor, and here is a really easy check if your switch is working or not. If you get yourself a piece of wire like this, it will be a jumper wire like this, and if you pull out that 2 wire plug, if I'm going to connect this, touch it to a black wire and send power to that middle green wire with the ignition on, your ignition must be on, then my motor is supposed to spin. So let's see. As you can see, my motor is spinning. I hope you can hear it. It's not that noisy. It's very quiet, I would say, but I hope you can see the motor is spinning and it's working. So my motor is working fine. This is how you check directly, basically hardwired directly, to verify if your motor is still in working condition. And if your motor is spinning the same way as I just showed you, then you probably have a problem with the switch itself. Needs to be replaced. Really easy replacement, just the 4 screws that hold in that dashboard cover and pulling out that switch. But if you hooked up this jumper wire from black to green, remember, I did not disconnect male and female. I'm just jumping directly. I can disconnect it if needed, but there is no need for that, because it's verifying that those 2 plugs have good connection. So, but if you are jumping and your motor is not moving, same way as you see on the video, I hope you can see. Yeah. If your motor is not spinning after you jumping this black to green wire, you need to replace your motor. Motor replacement, pretty straightforward. Just 2 bolts, unplugging 2 plugs and pulling out from here. Nothing hard, really simple. Now, when it comes to connecting everything back in place, with one hand, reach it that plug, which is probably invisible on the camera, but I can try. You can see I'm wiggling right there. That's the 3-pin plug, and I can clearly feel under my fingers all 3 wires are intact. I am reconnecting with my second hand, and now I'm ready to turn on switch and see if motor is spinning. So that's, for example, if you've been replacing your motor or checking and you found the problem. Before you reinstall that cover, just do a final check so you don't have to remove everything all over again. Now, installing back, it's pretty straightforward. Click it in place. Retighten that nut. That nut is basically just holding this plastic cover. It doesn't do nothing to the motor. Motor is held on the metal bracket. So you don't have to really make it extremely tight. Put rubber boot, and I did mark myself previously how that arm was sitting, but maybe I will not install it exactly at the proper position. So let's see. Looks like this is how it's supposed to be, but it's not guaranteed that I don't have to remove it and move my arm by one notch to the left or to the right. So let's see. Now I'm going to turn on wiper. Oh, as you can see, I missed because my wiper is going far behind windshield. So now I'm going to turn it off when my wiper is actually at the edge. Just like this. Now I know exactly which position needs to be moved. So I need to move 2 notches to the right. Yeah, because the shaft is in kind of goldish color and the marker was silver, I missed it. Now I'm going to move it like this and see if it's going to help. Little bit more, it's better, but still 1 more notch needs to go to the right. So I want to turn it off at the very corner position. So you want to turn it off where it's touching your pillar. So I have to do 1 more time. It's not very complicated, it's just maybe a little time consuming, but yeah, maybe this is my mistake that let's leave it like this. And let's turn it on 1 more time. Well, this is perfect. Exactly in the middle. This is how I want it, right? Now just installing this cap back in place. And that's it. This is how you would test or replace wiper motor if you need it on your Gio mobility scooter. I hope this was helpful, guys. Thank you for watching. I have other helpful diagnostic videos on my channel. Please click on the playlist if you have a problem with any of the components. Thank you. God bless you. Bye.